Man, first film of the year to review. Let's talk about it. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Movie Emporium's Netflix original review of Society of the Snow, the newest film from director Bayona. So Society of the Snow is, of course, the newest iteration or newest adaptation of the plane crash in 1973 of the Uruguayan individuals, including a rugby team, who basically crashed in the Andes Mountains, and in the end, only 16 survivors actually made it through. It tells the story of how they survived, the unfortunate circumstances of how they survived, including cannibalism, and the nature of survival and hope in a very unfortunate situation of winter and snow and avalanches and not knowing if you're going to survive through the winter, as these individuals waited through 70 days, I think it was, in the process. So that's this story. It's directed by Bayona, and you also remember the Frank Marshall film Alive, which came out in 1993. So with that said, doing adaptations or remakes is nothing new at this point. It's been done a billion times before, but a lot of times people do it because they're either dissatisfied with the original remake, or they wanted to tell a much more realistic approach, I guess you could say, or a much more authentic approach. And so here we have Bayona's take of this situation, and kind of presenting it in a 145-minute version, instead of the really kind of Hollywoodization version that Frank Marshall did. And with that said, it premieres on Netflix on January 4th. And there's a reason for why this film is being considered for an Oscar, at least in the international feature, because this film is incredible. It's very disturbing to watch. It's uncomfortable to watch, but it is a very truly to the heart type adaptation, where it feels like Bayona really, with The Impossible, the other films that he's been known for doing outside of Jurassic World, shows that he's a very talented director with a very passionate eye for not only disaster films, but for the human emotion, human kind of psychology when it comes to a situational problem like this film, the situation with the air disaster. And it gets to the heart of what it's like and what it takes for people to survive in a thing that might not be survivable. And so therefore, a lot of these actors in this movie are not they're not traditional actors. They're actually, this is one of their first movies, and it really shows because there's kind of not I would say immature, but a very kind of by the basics look of these characters. And what I mean by that is these characters, these individual actors, have to kind of portray these very youthful individuals, and they have to do it in a very uncomfortable setting. And so therefore, if you got, I'm not saying Hollywood actors can't do it, because they can, but if you get somebody that's never really done something like this before, you throw them in these elements and you shoot it, it's like shooting raw material, because these individuals they've never been in this type of setting before. They've never had to deal with this kind of stuff, when it comes to behind the camera. I'm not saying everybody in this film is the first time they've ever done this, wet behind the ears, but getting that authenticity, getting that authentical feel really helps this movie kind of elevate to a new level of filmmaking, breathe on its own, and you kind of follow a structural playbook, but you also allow these people to just kind of do their thing. And I think it really shows. It's really a powerful kind of film that really kind of is authentic in its nature of what it's trying to do, how it's trying to portray, how these characters are what the struggles and situational stuff they have to go through, because it doesn't hold anything back. I mean, it doesn't show the full cannibalism, but there are moments where you see skeletons, or you see skin, or you see flesh or something like that. It really kind of hits you on an emotional level, and makes you realize that sometimes you just have it lucky, and that you should be happy for each day that you live, because these people were dealing with some things that no human should ever have to deal with. And it makes it for a really kind of emotional journey. I mean, it's a long movie. It is 2 hours and 25 minutes. I never felt the length of the movie. I felt that it was just a very, very powerful, very emotional movie that did everything in its power to make me feel something. And I just, sometimes a director will do something like The Impossible, and then go to Jurassic World, and then go right back to something like this. And it just shows that sometimes the director, their comfortability zone may be something that is not high budget, that's not really expensive. It's something that they can focus on the characters and focus on the dynamic. This is a movie with multiple characters and multiple individuals, and it really works. And each individual feels authentic, and even the visual effects are seamless, and just the nature of this story in general is just, it's a very kind of sad one, because there were things that were like a lot of disasters that could have been avoided, and you see it's so emotionally well represented, well done. I give a lot of credit to J.A. Bayona and his writers and staff and, you know, actors and stuff like that, because they put on a show that unfortunately probably won't get like a Best Picture nomination, but at least it's up for an Oscar for, you know, international feature, which I think it will get. A tour de force of just kind of human like survival and human emotion, and, you know, looks at a world where, you know, you're lost and don't know what to do, and you have to make decisions, and, you know, some people don't want to make that decision, so you have leaders that show up. It's a fantastic movie. Once again, it's gonna be difficult for people to watch just based on the subject matter, but if you want to see a well put together, well shot, great directed movie with great acting, this is the film for you. So anyways, with that said, that'll be my take on Society of the Snow. Thank you so much for watching. Comments below, did you see the original movie alive? Have you read any of the books about this story? Do you know anything about it? If you do, let me know in the comments below. Are you looking forward to this movie as well? Just let me know. Otherwise, if you like what you see on this channel, hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium. Hit that notification bell, top to find what's coming next. If you like this video, awesome. Hit that like button. And as always, we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out.